Welcome back to our channel, Soap Opera Addicts. Today is a phenomenal day to dive into some explosive Salem drama. Wait, hold on a second. Is Kristen DiMera actually going to kidnap Rachel and flee Salem again? Are you kidding me right now? After everything with Sophia, the bloody nightmares, and EJ breathing down her neck, Kristen is about to completely snap and take Rachel on the run. Hey Days fans, welcome back. I have got some massive Salem drama to unpack today, and trust me, you are going to want to hear every single second of this. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and join our soap squad because we are diving deep into the absolute chaos erupting at the DiMera mansion. Let's start by looking at the raw spoilers that are coming down the pipeline for this May Sweeps month. The latest Days of Our Lives spoilers are screaming that Kristen DiMera is about to hit her absolute breaking point. We are talking about a full-blown, terrifying mental meltdown. The walls are rapidly closing in on her because of this entire twisted situation with Sophia Choi. Between EJ DiMera relentlessly accusing Kristen of orchestrating the fiery attack on Johnny and these horrifying bloody nightmares of Sophia haunting her every waking moment, Kristen is spiraling out of control. The spoilers reveal that when the pressure gets too high, Kristen is going to revert to her classic desperate playbook. She is going to grab Rachel Black and run straight out of Salem. And honestly, the teasers drop a massive hint that she might hurt even more people on her way out of town. I am sitting here completely stunned, but let's be real for a second, not entirely surprised. I honestly believe the writers are setting up one of the most explosive Kristen DiMera storylines we have seen in years. Stacy Haiduk is absolutely killing it right now as Kristen. The way she plays that desperate, unhinged paranoia is top-tier soap opera acting. Longtime fans remember the Eileen Davidson days, where Kristen was calculating, cold, and methodical. But Stacy Haiduk has brought this frantic, raw, emotional instability to the character that makes her so incredibly unpredictable. We all know Kristen is not someone who handles guilt well. In fact, she usually just buries her guilt under a massive mountain of rage and brand new crimes. But this Sophia situation, it is eating her alive from the inside out. Let's break down exactly why Kristen is losing her mind. She literally bashed that teenage girl's head in with a rock and had her thugs dump her in the river to cover her own tracks. Now, she is hallucinating a soaking wet, bloody Sophia walking right into the DiMera living room, or is it just a hallucination? If you ask me, there is a massive plot twist brewing here. I think Sophia is actually alive. Sophia was already planning to fake her own suicide and frame Holly Jonas, which, by the way, is a completely psychotic move for a teenager to make. What if Sophia survived the river, realized Kristen tried to permanently silence her, and is now actively gaslighting Kristen into an asylum? I am totally here for it. But whether Sophia is a ghost, a hallucination, or a living, breathing nightmare, it is working perfectly. Kristen's mind is fracturing into a million tiny pieces. And then we have EJ DiMera. Oh, do not even get me started on EJ right now. EJ is completely destroying Kristen, backing her into a corner and accusing her of setting up the apartment fire that almost killed Johnny DiMera. And yes, okay, we all know Kristen did order Sophia to take out Johnny to make EJ suffer. But the absolute hypocrisy of EJ DiMera is making my blood boil. I passionately despise how the writers are letting EJ act like the moral compass of the DiMera family. Are we forgetting that this man literally kept his own sister, Lexi Carver, locked in a secret medical pod in the hospital basement for months? He played God with Lexi's life, let Abe Carver and Theo grieve a dead woman, and now he wants to point fingers at Kristen for being a monster. Give me a massive break. If you look back at the history of these legacy characters, EJ and Kristen have always been two sides of the same deeply toxic coin. 5 or 10 years ago, they would have teamed up to destroy their enemies together. They would have pooled their resources and taken over Salem. Now, they are tearing each other apart from the inside. EJ is backing Kristen into a corner, and we all know exactly what happens when you back a DiMera into a corner. They come out swinging, and they usually take hostages. In this specific case, that hostage is going to be poor little Rachel Black. Let's talk about Rachel for a minute. I feel so incredibly bad for this kid. She is being used as a pawn in the most toxic game of chess in Salem history. Brady Black just fought tooth and nail to overturn Kristen's mandate that banned Marlena Evans from visiting Rachel at Bayview. Brady is finally stepping up to the plate. He is finally acting like a father who wants to protect his daughter from the psychological warfare of her mother. But Kristen views Rachel as her property. Not her daughter, her property. The moment Kristen feels she is losing control of her environment, her immediate instinct is to pack up her prized possession and vanish into the night. If Kristen actually manages to smuggle Rachel out of Salem again, Brady's going to completely lose his mind. And honestly, I am completely on Brady's side here. Yes, Brady has a legendary history of making terrible decisions with toxic women. He fell for Teresa Donovan, he fell for Chloe Lane over and over, and he let Kristen manipulate him for years. Do you remember when Kristen literally stole Teresa's embryo and carried Tate in her own womb? The history here is so dark, so twisted, and so deeply embedded in the fabric of this show. But right now, Brady is trying to do the right thing. If Kristen rips Rachel away just as Brady is getting a handle on the situation, we are going to see a level of rage in Brady Black that we have not seen in a decade. So how is Kristen going to pull off this daring escape? Let's analyze the logistics of this upcoming cliffhanger. Salem PD, led by Jada Hunter, is already finding bloody evidence near the river. The cops are going to be swarming the DiMera mansion any day now. I strongly suspect Kristen is going to try to use Sander Cook to facilitate her escape. We already know from the recent spoilers that Kristen approached Sander with a deadly hitman job. She wanted him to take out EJ. But what if she pivots her entire plan? What if she offers Sander a massive fortune to act as her getaway driver and muscle to get Rachel out of the country? I honestly hope Sander tells her to kick rocks. Sander is finally in a good place with Sarah Horton and their daughter, Victoria. If Sander risks his freedom to help a spiraling Kristen kidnap Rachel, Sarah will never forgive him. The chemistry between Paul Telfer and Lindsay Godfrey is way too good to ruin right now with another criminal relapse. But Kristen is desperate, and a desperate Kristen is a very persuasive Kristen. She knows exactly which buttons to push to make people do her dirty work. Or maybe she won't use Sander at all. Maybe she will turn to the one man who has always enabled the DiMera family's absolute worst impulses, Dr. Wilhelm Rolf. We know Dr. Rolf is back in town. He just discovered that Lexi's pod is completely empty. Rolf is currently roaming around Salem, probably looking for a brand new science project. Kristen could easily manipulate Rolf into using the DiMera secret tunnels to smuggle her and Rachel out of the country. Rolf owes Kristen. She has protected his insane science experiments and funded his lab for years. Imagine a Sweeps Month Friday cliffhanger where Brady kicks down the door to the DiMera mansion, only to find a secret passageway left wide open and Rachel's favorite stuffed animal dropped on the cold stone floor. Chills, you guys. Absolute chills. The spoilers also drop a very terrifying hint that we need to discuss. Kristen might hurt more people in the midst of all this chaos. Who is going to get caught in her dangerous crosshairs? Could it be Marlena? We know Marlena and Kristen have a bitter rivalry that spans decades. If Marlena tries to physically block Kristen from taking Rachel from Bayview, Kristen will not hesitate to strike her down. We have seen Kristen attack Marlena before, and she will absolutely do it again to keep her daughter. Or what if the collateral damage is Lonnie Price Grant? Lonnie is finally back in town, and she and Kristen have that bizarre trauma-bonded friendship from their time hiding out in the convent. If Lanny finds out that Kristen ordered the fiery hit on Johnny Lanny's own brother-in-law, Lanny might try to arrest Kristen herself. Imagine the dramatic tension of Lonnie pulling a loaded gun on her former best friend to stop her from kidnapping a child. The emotional stakes would be absolutely off the charts. Lonnie would be torn between her badge, her family, and the woman who once saved her life. It is the perfect soap opera dilemma. Whatever happens, this storyline is guaranteed to carry us through the craziest May sweeps we have seen in a very long time. The writers are weaving a massive, intricate web of paranoia, guilt, and legacy family warfare. Kristen DiMera is a cornered animal. She is losing her grip